Okay, I wanted to do a little tutorial to start with, to tell you the importance of actually doing research when you're doing caricature design. As I said, and one of my questions actually was given to me, do you do everything from your imagination? It's quite impossible to do a caricature from imagination, especially if it's a non-celebrity one, because obviously you don't know the person, and if you've just seen one photograph or you met them once, it's very hard to try and think of a way of drawing it from that kind of imaginative principle. If it's a famous person, again, some characteristics stand out in certain people, but the thing is to get it exactly right all the time from your imagination based on seeing multiple pictures of a very famous person is pretty hard to consider. So what I tend to do is I look for reference photographs. I'm going to show you the process because it's very important to actually understand how to search for good reference photographs and what you're looking for when you're doing a good reference photograph. But I'm going to show you some examples of some of my previous work so you understand how I got around to creating the actual picture. Now this is one I did of Amy Winehouse. This is the actual rough sketch here. Now you'll notice the reference photographs I've got here have nothing to do with the actual pose I've got. Okay, I'll show you the actual finished one. This is a finished piece I did. And also, talking about Amy, it's also the baby was constructed out of several different photographs. Okay, now I'm going to explain how I did it basically. You'll see, for instance, she's got very characteristic hair. Okay, now I've basically used this kind of modelling on these two kind of photographs to get the hair right. Having it dripping over the eyes and everything like that. This one as well, I used the kind of the basic shape of the face to get that same kind of angle. Okay, but mainly the reason I did a lot of this is to understand the actual structure of her body. She's got very thin legs. This is when she started losing a lot of weight. So I did a kind of comparison between two different pictures for her legs. Okay, so this is all drawn out of my own imagination. I did do some other research away from Amy Winehouse to actually look for women who are posed roughly like this, but then because of my animation knowledge from when I did my degree and everything, I actually posed it in a more dramatic way. So this is based on a kind of a photograph of a girl. She wasn't actually with her arms like this. Okay, so this is all added later as well. So overall, this pose, this actual picture here, I'll cut through it. It's based on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, maybe 13 different references to show how certain parts of the body actually pose, and I patched it all together using all these different photographs. I can tell you for a fact that the two for the hands were my daughter's hands. I got her to take a photograph, but everything else was sourced from a photograph that I found. I even had to find specific reference images of her tattoos, so they were put in properly and everything as well. But I did lots of different sketches, made it a little bit more caricaturized than I normally do for my other celebrity caricatures, because it was more for a company's advertisement, and so it wasn't it's so important to be that realistic. But for instance, you'll see, there you go, there's the dress. I've used that for reference here. It's not exactly the same, but I like the polka dot thing, and it's a very kind of Amy Winehouse dress to wear. So it was all patched together based on all these different researches and referencing images. I even had to find a reference image for the pushchair. I think it was actually a SketchUp model, so I can explain that another time later in the tutorial sessions, how to use 3D assets to help create a pose and everything. Basically moved it around a bit and tilted it and everything, changed a few things, but then I had to find a reference picture for the colouring, because obviously I used a black and white model for the posing and that kind of thing. So that's how I made this one. And I did a second one of Michael Jackson, and again, this wasn't Michael Jackson, but this is a kind of very typical, very stereotypical pose of Michael Jackson, but I couldn't find him in that exact spot pose. So what I had to do is, if I look at the referencing, this is how I got to this stage. Like this, for instance, is a way of looking at how he does that kind of, I don't know what you call it, it's like bump up dance move. You also notice his clothes are different. I didn't copy exactly the same clothes. I added a little bit of a wave as well. But you notice he's not, for instance, that was reference for that, believe it or not. And I also used it to kind of do the bandaging on his arm. But again, I took a photograph of myself doing those two poses. Okay, and this was just added by just drawing, mainly from taking that kind of angle and then adding the foot to represent it like it's up like that. Okay, the mouth was basically, I reversed this pose, so I just basically changed it round so it was looking opposite way, and then just rendered it out as best as I could based on the actual understanding of how I saw Michael Jackson as a caricature. Okay, and obviously the hair is just very stereotypical Michael Jackson, kind of wavy and oily looking kind of thing. So this is how I basically made the whole process of doing Michael Jackson. Okay, so that's two of my caricatures, and I've got the actual reference to show you how I did those. Okay, but if I look at another one, this is Santa Claus I did for a client. Now I'm going to mark out all the different things I did for this as well. Now, for instance, I couldn't find a pose with his arm, so I did a photograph of myself with a hand. I found some arm with holding a shovel. Okay, but the hand was different. I found a picture of Santa Claus, used that as reference, but the body is basically a builder, and this was a builder's outfit as well, pose, and I just changed it to Santa Claus, and I think the boots were from a different photograph as well, so that's 6 or 7 pictures making that up. Now this was 2 different photographs, and also the reindeer. I found a nice pose for the reindeer, but I couldn't find it with the head in the right position, so I had to find the second one with the head. So that's made out of 2, and obviously that's an additional piece, and that's an additional piece. This was completely made up out of my own imagination. So you can see how many pieces I get to make one photograph up, for instance. Now another one I did, this one for instance, this is made up out of several different photographs, obviously all referencing. I found a nice picture of a person seated like so, but obviously he didn't have this muscular structure here, so that was built up, and I had to look for maybe 3 or 4 different pictures for looking at a cow and a bull at a certain angle. Then I had to find a specific kind of bull horn I wanted to use. This hand arm was actually photographed by myself because I couldn't find anybody holding a string or anything in that kind of posture. And finally, the goat's legs were made out of images I found of goats. So you can see how things get built up. It's not just one picture you're going to find as a reference, or even drawing everything out of your imagination, because sometimes you need to have a little kind of referencing, because like I couldn't draw a bull's head or a cow's head out of my mind without any kind of detailing, without understanding what it looks like. So you find one, you distort it slightly, and then you build it into the pose, because obviously his neck wasn't like that. So I had to add the little features like this to make it interesting, and the horns weren't on the actual cow's head that I used, and so forth. So this is how I build things up. Obviously the string was added completely, and that's how I work around doing a whole image. Okay, so these are the different ones I've done, and what I'm going to do is show you how I get around to doing this kind of thing, how I get to find all these different poses. And the best way is obviously doing image researching on the internet. I'm just going to hide Photoshop so I can now show you how to do it. Now, one of the things you can do is search by an image. So if you want to find a famous person, you can do it by clicking on that, and it'll give you some referencing. But for instance, if we just look up faces, okay, you'll get lots of pictures of faces, and depending on what you want to do a caricature of, obviously they're not very famous people, but I just want to use this as an idea, because sometimes, and this is how I got to do my Celebrity Sunday pictures, they all seem to look forward, a lot of them seem to look forward, because this is one of the ways you actually look at finding people, is their portraits. Okay, but let's say for instance we don't want that, we want to do a celebrity in a pose. Let's look for a celebrity like let's say Charlie Chaplin. Okay, now this is one of his very famous poses. Okay, but the thing is, he also does it in lots of different other poses. There's another one there, you see. Now, there's a good image, you see, it's got, oh, there you go, that's a better one. Now if you look at that, it shows him in 3 different poses, so which one's the most easy to turn into a caricature? Now let me just put this into Photoshop. Now, what makes a good caricature is, especially if it's kind of based on a cartoony effect, is the actual posture. Now, for instance, this one has got a really nice curve to it, which could be exaggerated, so you could stick his legs out more. Okay, do something more with the arm to make it more postured and bring the head out so that the neck part is a lot bigger. Okay, so that's quite nice. This one's got a nice shape there, and it's got an extreme, so you could even cut it in even more there. Okay, and it's got a very straight line there, so it can interact with the thing, but also again, like, you can draw that so it becomes more exaggerated. But then if you pull out his hips, this part here would make a great section for a caricature. Okay, so you can emphasize that. Okay, and obviously make his feet longer, not that long, but okay, so that's a nice pose to have. This one's probably the most boring one, because it's got a very slight curve, but it's not that dramatic, so I would choose either this one or this one as a kind of a starting point for a caricature. But the thing is, what you'll notice is that they're very low res. Okay, so I want to think about putting say for instance the detailing here and his eyes. You don't know what's happening with his eyes, so I'll use this as the kind of the pose guide. What I need to do now is then to find, luckily they're looking straight on roughly. What you can do in this browsing option is put it into large, and now all the different actual pictures you're going to find on here, like for instance this one, if I actually open it up, it should be in large format. Here you go. And so what I can do is I can actually now see the detailing around his eyes, his teeth, okay, and I understand how his tie works and everything like that. So that's a nice way of looking for images to use as what's known as reference. I'm not going to be drawing directly from them. There's another quite nice one. Okay, and you can see how his tie works. You can even see that his costume has a kind of a line structure on it, which is important to do. Okay, so this is one thing you can do, pick up all these different aspects to find, and if you, for instance, you want to change him, like even have him with a smile, look for several different ones you can think of that you may want to use. Okay, also must point out, you know, like I've just seen this is a very contrasty photograph. It's got very extreme blacks and very extreme whites, and obviously the gradient is quite nice. So that'll be quite nice for a kind of a colour sampling thing for his actual painting of his tones and everything. And saying that, you know, obviously Charlie Chaplin came from an era when there wasn't that many colour photographs, so I just saw one here. Yeah, I think this is probably tinted, but the thing is, it gives you kind of like an interesting understanding of what his face would look like if it was colorized, and so you may want to do the picture in color, so you actually see Charlie Chaplin in color rather than just the famous black and white pose. So that's something you could do as well. Think about grabbing those. You can manipulate the values later on and so forth. Okay, now you'll notice also I've got several other, let's close that one, several other browsers open. There's web crawler. Now web crawler is actually interesting because it uses lots of different web search engines to bring all the details together. Okay, but it has an image option. I've also got Bing open, which is set for images, and I've also got Pinterest open, which I'll talk about in a minute. So if I put in, for instance, Charlie Chaplin in here, no results for Charlie Chaplin. See, that's really interesting, you see, because it's actually, yeah, it's got, that's bizarre, you see, no images for Charlie Chaplin. Okay, now let's try it in Bing. There you go. Now the interesting thing, and that's why one of the reasons I actually said to use different search engines, and now this may be the one you want to use the most, and you'll see if you did an image for Charlie Chaplin, you wouldn't come across any pictures, whereas Google's brought up hundreds, and also this has brought up hundreds. Now the reason I ask you to look at 2 different search engines, or even maybe 3, is because they may present you different images. You may find one that then becomes quite interesting for you. We talked about a colour one. There's an interesting, it's not actually Charlie Chaplin, but it's someone dressed up as Charlie Chaplin, but it may give you an idea of how to look at it as reference to do the colorizing. Okay, so don't think your research aspect should be one search engine, one set of results. Think about what you want to get from this caricature, how much time you've got to do it, and look for the most interesting photographs you can from several different searches. Now saying that, over the years I've found that Pinterest, for instance, has, let's put Charlie Chaplin again, results that don't seem to appear on, say for instance, Google. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't appear in Google, but basically, for instance, this hasn't appeared on there. You may find some other photographs, GIFs, that may give you some interesting ideas about how his walk works and all this kind of stuff. But you know, this for instance wasn't on it. Okay, and so forth. And there's another one, the colour one of Charlie Chaplin. That is actually Charlie Chaplin, I believe. Okay, that's interesting because you can actually find more interesting in-depth results using a tool like Pinterest, which isn't actually a search engine as such. Okay, now you just notice that there's my that's my Charlie Chaplin I did, based on several different pictures that I found on the internet, and I think it worked out quite well. I even did the actual image with the lines I said that were appearing on the, there he is again. Okay, there are lines that are appearing on his costume and everything. Okay, there you go, there's several caricatures of, there's that one I told you about that you could do with the angle pose. Yeah, so you can see people do use these photographs in a way. There's an interesting pose of Einstein on the toilet. Okay, I think this is more actually from a photograph, and it's actually patched loads of photographs together, but it's quite interesting how he's done it. Okay, so this is how you need to use your research, and when I come back I'll have found all these photographs of Charlie Chaplin. We'll use him as a kind of an example for this whole process, and we'll go to the next stage of actually doing what you need to do with the actual images that you find. Okay.